I'd love your perspective as someone who has delved deep into the history of the dairy industry in Asia.
Well, I think that, there's a big power distance between people and the dairy sector, and that power distance is created by the packaging environment, the retail environment, the advertising environment. So it's the media determinants of perception that we're surrounded by. Unless somebody has a firsthand experience of the dairy industry, such as the kinds that all three of you have, and frankly I don't, and I did not go to a dairy farm, or I didn't need to visit a dairy farmer to understand what was really going on in their world and in the cow's world, until I turned plant-based and I turned vegan, and so that power distance exists, and there is not a single human being on the planet unless they're clinically in a different space, who will say, I'm not compassionate. And the true test of their compassion is for them to really step out of that artifice, that artificial environment in which we as consumers interact with dairy products and the dairy industry, and to take your family, take your children to a real dairy farm, wherever you might be, whether you're in India or you're in New Zealand or you're in the United States. I mean, there are ag-gag laws, and, people won't let you even in because, what happens behind doors on those big CAFOs is completely horrendous. But even if there are organizations that want to put a front and say, oh, come over, see the happy cows and whatever, do yourselves a favor, go and visit those dairy farms, and go there not to be brainwashed or greenwashed with everything that they're going to tell you, but just go there with an open mind to just see and compare those mammals with the mammals you treat as family members at home. Compare them with your cats and dogs. Compare them with your children, yourself, as a woman, as a mom, as a sister, as a wife, and when you put yourself in those shoes, you might walk away with greater information and a lesser distance, and therefore a better appreciation of what really happens on these farms. So my message is, if you really choose to call yourself compassionate, then get off the couch and get off that, the supermarket where you pick that packaging that says A1 milk or A2 milk and all of that hogwash that exists. Go directly to the source and understand where your milk really comes from. And I just wanted to also say that there is a gender gap in appreciation and understanding of the dairy sector. When I turned vegan and I started to talk to women, they were pretty non-vegan women who are now vegan. They were pretty quick to make that connection and connect the dots between, hey, the cow is a mom. The cow is not just an animal that gives food. The challenge that I experienced, not shockingly, but very disappointingly with men, was, oh, cows give milk, period. A lot of them, at least majority of them, don't even realize that cows need to be pregnant and lactating to be able to give milk. And that's when the penny dropped on them. So there is a critical, need for us to continue to bridge that gender gap in education and understanding of what the dairy industry really stands for. So I would just say, get off that couch, if you're on vacation or whatever, in beautiful New Zealand, go check out a real dairy farm and educate yourself, or in beautiful India, and go check out what those dairy farms and cooperatives, etc., look like, and you might be in for a surprise.